Have you ever wondered what happens when you build something so advanced, so far ahead of its time, that for decades nobody else can catch up? That's the story of this aircraft, the Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor. It first flew in the late 1990s. In technology terms, that's an eternity ago, yet here we are today on September 21st, 2025, and a serious question remains. Could any jet reliably beat it one-on-one? Almost every pilot who's flown it and every analyst says one thing: no, it is quite simply in a league of its own. This reputation wasn't manufactured, it's forged over 2 decades of exercises, simulations, and real-world operations. In mock air battles, it has recorded jaw-dropping kill ratios, 144-0, meaning dozens of enemy planes eliminated and no Raptors notionally lost. This isn't a fluke, it's consistent. Its design goal was simple and ambitious: be the most dominant air superiority fighter ever, and its designers succeeded, perhaps a little too well. Conceived in the Cold War, the USAF asked, what beats the best Soviet fighters, and what comes after that? The answer? A plane that could see without being seen, strike without being targeted, and outmaneuver anything it couldn't outrun. To do that, engineers pushed materials science, computer processing, and aerodynamic design to the limits. The result? An aircraft so expensive and complex, the US built far fewer than planned. Why this still matters? New 5th-gen fighters are emerging from China and Russia, yet the F-22 remains the benchmark. At its core, the F-22 Raptor is an air superiority fighter. Its primary job isn't to drop bombs on the ground, though it can. Its main purpose is to go into enemy airspace, sweep the skies clean of opposing aircraft, establish total control. To do that, designers focused on 4 key attributes. Diagram: 4 pillars, extreme stealth, supersonic speed without afterburners, incredible maneuverability, advanced sensors and computer systems. Some fighters are strong, some fighters are fast, some fighters are sneaky. The F-22 is all 3 at once. Think of a football team. One great quarterback won't win if the rest are average. The F-22 is a team of superstars. Stealth gets it the perfect attack position. When people talk about the F-22, the first thing they usually mention is stealth. But what does that actually mean? It doesn't mean it's invisible to the naked eye like something out of science fiction. Instead, it means it is incredibly difficult to detect with radar. Radar works by sending out radio waves and listening for the echoes that bounce back off an object. A conventional aircraft with its round body, flat tail fins, external weapons, is like a giant mirror for radar waves, reflecting them straight back to the receiver. The F-22, however, is designed from the ground up to do the exact opposite. Every angle, every curve, every surface is precisely shaped to scatter radar waves away from the source. This is called low observability technology. The F-22's shape is composed of flat planes, sharp, carefully aligned edges. There are almost no right angles on the aircraft, as these are perfect radar reflectors. The engine intakes are curved in an S shape, so the highly reflective turbine blades deep inside the engine can't be seen by radar from the front. Even the paint is special. It's a radar-absorbent material that soaks up radar energy instead of reflecting it. The result is an aircraft that, on an enemy's radar screen, has a radar cross-section estimated to be the size of a steel marble. Trying to find a marble in the sky from 100 miles away is, as you can imagine, incredibly difficult. This stealthy design extends to every part of the aircraft. To maintain its low observable profile, the F-22 carries all its weapons and fuel internally, inside hidden bays. Stealth gets you into the fight unseen. But what happens when you're there? The F-22 backs up its invisibility with breathtaking performance. One of its most significant advantages is an ability called supercruise. This means it can fly at supersonic speeds, faster than the speed of sound, without using its afterburners. An afterburner dumps raw fuel into the engine exhaust to get a massive temporary boost in thrust. It's powerful but incredibly inefficient, burning fuel at an astonishing rate. Most fighters can only use afterburners for a few minutes before tanks run dry. The F-22, however, is different. Its 2 Pratt & Whitney F-119 engines can push the aircraft past Mach 1.5, 1.5 times the speed of sound, in level flight on military power alone. This is a game changer. It means the F-22 can arrive at a combat zone faster, cover a much larger area, choose when and where to engage. An enemy that relies on afterburners must choose, go fast and run out of fuel, or fly slower and be vulnerable. The F-22 doesn't make that trade-off. It can maintain high speed and energy throughout the fight, giving its pilot a massive tactical advantage. So, a fighter jet is more than just an airframe and engines, it's actually a flying supercomputer. And the F-22's computer systems, even by today's standards, are, well, incredibly sophisticated. The key concept here is something called sensor fusion. A modern battlefield is just flooded with information. Aircraft's own powerful radar, infrared sensors, electronic warfare systems that detect enemy signals, data links from other friendly aircraft, satellites, and ground stations. In an older jet, the pilot would have to look at multiple different screens and mentally piece it all together to understand what's happening. That's almost impossible in the heat of combat. The F-22's systems do this work for the pilot. Its central computers take in all this data, process it, and fuse it into a single, intuitive picture of the battle space. On the pilot's main display, friendly forces appear as blue symbols. Unknown contacts show as yellow. Hostile threats are red. The pilot doesn't need to wonder if a radar contact is the same as an infrared blip the computer already has. It gives a simple, God's-eye view of everything for miles around. It tells the pilot exactly what each threat is, where it is, and how dangerous it is. That frees up the pilot's mental energy to focus on tactics, on winning the fight. This situational awareness is a massive force multiplier. An F-22 pilot knows more about the enemy than the enemy knows about themselves. The F-22 has advanced electronic support measures that can detect enemy radar from very far away. Even with its own radar off to stay silent and stealthy, it can still see others by listening to their emissions. Of course, the United States isn't the only country building advanced fighter jets. The most prominent Russian counterpart to the F-22 is the Sukhoi Su-57, codenamed Felon by NATO. On the surface, the Su-57 looks impressive. It's a large twin-engine fighter, stealth, super cruise, high maneuverability. It's particularly famous for its incredible agility, featuring three-dimensional thrust vectoring nozzles, up and down, side to side, giving it the potential for even more extreme maneuvers than the Raptor. It also carries a very diverse and powerful array of weapons. However, when you look closer, the comparison to the F-22 starts to reveal significant gaps. The biggest question mark surrounding the Su-57 is its stealth. It's got stealthy shaping from the front, but analysts point to its engine nacelles, the general quality of its manufacturing, and visible panel gaps that seem less optimized for low observability than the F-22. Its engines, for now, lack the S-duct intakes that hide reflective turbine blades. Another major challenge for the Su-57 program has been production. The F-22 program was cut short, but the US still built 187 of them. As of 2025, Russia has produced only a very small number of serial Su-57S. The program has been plagued by delays, budget cuts, and the crash of a prototype. There simply aren't enough of them to pose a large-scale strategic threat. Perhaps the most serious long-term challenger to the F-22's dominance is China's Chengdu J-20, also known as the Mighty Dragon. Unlike the Su-57, the J-20 program has been moving forward at a rapid pace, with China now fielding a significant number of these aircraft. The J-20 is a large, heavy, twin-engine fighter that, like the F-22, places a huge emphasis on frontal aspect stealth and long-range engagement. Its design, with its sharp angles and internal weapons bays, is clearly aimed at achieving a low radar cross-section, at least from the front. It is also a very long aircraft, suggesting it's designed to carry a lot of fuel and long-range missiles. The J-20's intended role appears to be slightly different from the F-22S. While the F-22 is a pure air superiority fighter, many analysts believe the J-20 is designed as more of a long-range interceptor. Its job might be to use its stealth and speed to sneak past enemy fighter screens and attack high-value assets in the rear, like tanker aircraft and airborne command and control planes. However, the J-20 also has its own set of potential weaknesses when compared to the Raptor. One of the biggest has been its engines. For many years, the J-20 relied on older Russian-designed engines or interim Chinese models that were underpowered and not well-suited for a stealth aircraft. This meant it likely couldn't supercruise and may have been less maneuverable than its design suggests. While China has been working hard to develop its own advanced WS-15 engines designed to rival the F-22's F-119S, integrating them and producing them in large numbers is a massive industrial challenge. it remains a key variable in the J-20's ultimate performance. So, here we are in 2025, more than a quarter century after the F-22's first flight, and it still wears the crown as the world's most dominant air-to-air fighter. Its unique combination of all-aspect stealth, supercruise performance, extreme maneuverability, and fused sensor awareness has not yet been replicated by any other aircraft. The United States Air Force is already looking ahead to what comes next. The next generation, Air Dominance or NGAD program is developing the F-22's successor. This future system will likely be a family of systems, including a highly advanced 6th-generation crewed fighter, working alongside autonomous drone wingmen, all connected by a seamless network. It aims to take the concepts pioneered by the F-22, stealth, speed, information dominance, and push them into the next technological era. But for now, the F-22 stands alone. It represents a leap in technology so significant that the rest of the world has spent the last 2 decades just trying to catch up. These are the questions that will define the future of air power. The F-22 was built to be untouchable, and for now, it has succeeded beyond anyone's wildest expectations. The question is, how long can it stay that way?